Bloody hell, Graham, you've got to laugh at some of these comments, lad.
I know. It's embarrassing.
Tell you what, guys, it's like we can't live without social media on the bank. Some of the bloody laughing we're doing here on these comments, unbelievable. To be fair, we just thought we'd share a couple of them. I basically put a picture on the Carp Bangers page of the multi-bait next to a normal boilie. Both identical in their visual looks, except obviously the multi-bait was oozing out of attraction, where the boilie attraction is trapped within the skin in order to make the boilie itself. But some of the comments were a little bit you sort of have to raise an eyebrow and laugh, to be fair, but I just thought, God, we just need to just sort of share a few, to be fair. We'll just use the first names. We don't want to use the second names. We're not here to sort of belittle anybody, really. Just you got to.
Let's just leave the names out, shall we?
Yeah, we'll leave the names out. We just want to highlight how bad social media is, really, and the thinking, because you'd be surprised. You know, we're all on different levels of thinking, different abilities as anglers, and you know, and to be fair, some of the comments really show the level of attitude that people have got, but it is what it is at the end of the day. It is number one for you. Obviously we put a picture of the two boilies identical, and a guy replies, and he got 8 likes, to be honest. Swap the spot of the rigs and I'll bet it'll be the other way. It's 99% location. And to be fair, he also got agreed by another angler, as well as his 8 likes. And my reply to him was, location is a major factor, but as for attraction, I'd rather have a bait that is number 1 in attraction rather than number 51, so to speak, even though that 1% might make all the difference to catching. He's come back at me, to be fair, and he's basically saying not at all. Not at all, as they eat chunks of unscented foam, unflavoured plastics, all with silt and stones. You might as well say, if you want to sort of agree with him, everything we're using is just pointless, really, because you're just putting everything.
Yeah. We'll just throw a pebble on the hook.
Exactly, and the fish is just going to eat it. Well, that's not the way fishing works. So, another guy, what happens when all the goodness has washed out? Question. You're left with an empty plastic ball, but the boilie is still a boilie. I replied, everything is all about timing and understanding what you're using. You are making assumptions on what you don't know or understand. He basically come back with a laughing emoji, to be fair, which I find strange personally, but he then comes back with another reply. I understand that everything is filled with flavour and put underwater will eventually lose all its contents after a while with tears. I replied, first of all, how long are you fishing for? Then it depends on what you're putting in it. Then understanding the time frame of how that attraction breaks down. Whatever way you look at it, no boilie comes even close to what the multi-bait can do. He's not come back at me, to be fair. And that's the problem with a lot of people who make replies. You come back with them, you hit them back with a constructive, logical way of thinking, and it just sort of stops them in their tracks, because there's nowhere for them to go to sort of try and sound good or undermine you as a person, really. Another guy, just stick to a method feeder, surely. What do you think of that one, Graham?
I'm dumbfounded. It's nothing like a method feeder.
It's a hook bait at the end of the day, not a method feeder. Another guy, multi-bait, less surface area, less attraction. But to be fair, we're trying to scratch our heads around understanding that one in regarding less surface area and less attraction. Well, the attraction comes from the multi-bait itself, and the whole void of the multi-bait can be filled to capacity of attraction to the size of the multi-bait. So in effect, you get what you put in it, basically. It's just down to what size of multi-bait you want to use and the tactics you're using it on whatever water you're particularly fishing. To be fair, I even questioned if he's even an angler.
The thing is though, is people are telling us to put liquid onto boilies.
And that's been going on for years. If you look at that logic, the delivery of a liquid attractions on top of zigs, on top of boilies, and if you think about the delivery of that attractions, it's probably about as ineffective as pouring the liquid out of the frigging bottle in the first place, because it's going nowhere. The attraction doesn't stay on. It's either on the floor, you've either lost it through the drag of the velocity going through the air 150 miles an hour, crashing into the water to find its location, and then you're left with what? Basically to what you started with. So, you know, at least the multi-bait and the LiquirigS products are delivery systems which allow you to deliver that attraction more effectively than you've ever been able to. And this is what I can't understand about the logic of some people, because it's like Graham said, some people get it and some people don't. And I have to agree with his point of view, because at the end of the day, you know, it's all about your ability of what you understand and how you come to logically understand anything, basically. But yeah, it is what it is. And then what we find even more funny is that I'd done a post just before we were coming here, weren't it, Craig?
Yeah.
We were just about to get some milk from a shop, basically, and I opened the back of the van and I picked up a bucket. Didn't realise how heavy the bucket was, and it fell out of my hand, to be fair, and it went all over the floor. All my boilies that were in the bucket had spread all over the place, and it's had 2,100 likes, 274 comments and 74 shares. And I'm thinking, I can't even get my head around that, to be fair. And what's so funny about that, Graham goes on to mention about we need a take two. Well, actually a take two did take place, to be fair, didn't it, Graham? We were on the boat, the ferry coming over, and I had my tackle box at the side of the van, so we have a side door. I opened that and the tackle box went crashing on the floor and spread all over the ship deck in regarding the van. It took us about 20 minutes picking all the little things up out of the tackle box, and I didn't bother to take a bloody picture or a little video, but I thought, God, if we'd done that, it would have friggin' gone ballistic in regarding the laughter and opinions and blah blah blah. And what I find so ironic is that when you've created, in my opinion, game-changing products, the conversations sort of dry up. It's like people can't believe what's been created in regarding, for example, Corda. In fact, I shouldn't even mention Corda, but because they do a good job in certain areas of this game. But a lead shot on the hook going viral. You know what I mean? It's just there's no comprehension in regarding one product to the other product, you know what I'm saying? And then if you take the DragonFly Aligner Cap, and I've been stating it can be 5 different rig presentations all within one product. Well, we've smashed that now. It's now 7 different rig presentations with one product, which has never been achieved in angling. But you want to know something? We bet you we won't even get hardly any comments or discussions about it. And that's how sad this fishing game and social media's become, really. It makes you not even want to be part of this fishing game, because there's that many people who talk crap, who haven't got a clue, and just dishearten the whole process of why we go fishing in the first place. At the end of the day, we're there to enjoy ourselves, enjoy the environment, and fish to the best of our ability. But we seem to have plenty of time to slag things off and undermine people, rather than encouraging people and trying to have more of a positive attitude, really. And because that's what Carp Headbangers has always been about, really. Supporting normal anglers. I put a lot into this game, a lot of money out of my own pocket, which I didn't need to do. Do you think I benefit out of it? Not one bit. But for me, it was about trying to help other people, other anglers, which I've done in abundance, to be fair. But unfortunately, there's a small minority you'll never please, and you'll never satisfy. And unfortunately, you just have to take it on the chin. All right, Graham?
Yes.
But we're having a good time at the minute, aren't we, buddy?
Yes, on this French runs water.
Well, it's not a French runs water. It's French, but it's not a runs water. Stay over there is blanking. Graham's caught a nice 40 common, and I've managed to catch a few myself. So I'll show you them on the LiquirigS and the Carp Headbangers page. But anyway,
You'll get negative comments though, Phil.
I know, mate. In fact,
They don't
you know
count.
something?
They're French.
Well, to be fair, I posted a £44 common. It had 2 comments from 2 of the angling friends. Well done and lovely comment and all that stuff. And it's just a disappointment, really, how people want to engage. And then you know, I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody else, mate. That's for sure. It's just a case of when it comes to this angling game, I can compete with anybody. And I'd like to fucking see an angler who can who've took the mind onto my level when it comes to creating that many variations of rigs and presentations, because I don't know any, to be fair. I mean, Frank Warwick comes close, in my opinion. Great angler, great thinker. Can you think of any?
No. Frank Warwick's about it.
Yeah, Frank Warwick, isn't it?
I mean, there were 1 or 2 in the early days, but
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would remember them. So
I mean, there's that many different variations of shrink tube. And people getting credit and adulation for it. But I don't think there's an angler who've come close to what I've created. And who's the other angler? God, every time you see a post, you hardly see him posting pictures of fish up, but you see a lot of his yesterday pictures. The chod rig, he come up with the chod rig, was he?
the chod rig.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Come with the chod rig. Donkey's ears.
Oh, he's at sticky baits now, isn't he?
Do you mean the Liverpool rig?
No. what's his name? I forget his name. The angler. He's a well-known angler.
It's not that well known, Phil. We can't remember it.
I know. Well, that comes with age. Comes with age. Senile dementia kicking in. Friggin' hell. Court Mary.
What? Oh, you don't mean Jim Shelley, do you?
No, friggin' not him. He's friggin'.
Well, I say he didn't invent it, did he?
No, friggin' hell. Oh, wait.
It's a Terry Earn.
Terry Earn. That's it. Terry Earn. Didn't he do the chod?
Yeah, and we're using it on the inch stiff and everything, weren't it? Although there is a bit, the people do say it was Frank Warwick that originally come up with it.
Right, okay.
But I think it was Terry Earn that made it popular.
Right, so Terry Earn's just about catching some fish, isn't he then?
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, his name was everywhere years ago. So he were fishing Yateley and Raisbury and everything, you know, when catching the fish. But he's a great angler, don't get me wrong, but I think he's a better storyteller.
Right. Well.
See, he does tell a good story.
Well. There you have it.
Well, then you get Jim Shelley, you know, he's the most unpopular angler out there, but he's caught just about everything that swims.
So, at the end of the day, those two names, in my opinion, they're anglers who have had plenty of time to do fishing, and obviously rightly deserved. They've got their recognition and credibility through putting the time and effort in. So if that's what fishing's all about, then that's the way it is, isn't it? But
I mean, it's like I've been carp angling as long as Terry Earn, but unfortunately I was brought up north, not down south where all the carp were in those days.
Not only that, Graham, you've been running quite a few successful businesses over the last 35 years.
Well, yeah,
I mean?
That does take it off a bit, but it doesn't stop your angling credibility. It's just a case it is what it is. Your journey's your journey. Yeah.
Mine's mine, Terry Earn's is, and Jim Shelley's his journey is his, and that's it. The point is, on a journey.
Everyone's got their own journey.
Exactly. But
why so much negativity and jealousy on Facebook?
I think it's probably people who've got aspirations who want to be popular, or for whatever reason, you know what I mean? I don't know. Short-termism, I don't know. Just it's hard to explain in just a short little video clip. So it's just that, you know, the more and more you look at social media, the more you just see negativity in regard what people are about, really. It's like people don't want to see you successful. They want to put you down. And you know, success comes in many different shapes and forms, you know what I'm saying? But it's really getting comical now, to be fair. Oh, and there's a fish on your spot, Graham.
I know. It keeps jumping out to see if them two silly buggers are still here.
Anyway, guys, I think that's enough for us for and again.
The first episode of Banter on the Bank with Phil.
First episode, Banter on the Bank with Phil. Yeah, I like the title of that. I think we might do that a bit more often. But anyway, guys, yeah, I do love fishing. Yeah, I think about fishing a lot, and I put a lot of time in. But I've never really put myself out there of look at me, who I am. I'm better than certain anglers who've got more fame and credibility than me. When in reality, they may have more fame, but when it comes to credibility, that's going to be a big ask matching this guy, to be fair, the way I look at it. But anyway, each to their own, innit? Anyway guys, I'll catch you all in a bit. Bye from me, and bye from Graham. Banter on the bank. Bye.